All right, welcome, guys, back to the Conviction Fiction, the podcast where we try to shine light on stories of resilience, transformation, and the power of human connection. That's me at the bottom, but I'm bigger. Um, my name is Antoine Rivers, man. I'm your host. Today we're diving into a special topic. All right, building success during incarceration and the enduring bonds that help people thrive even in challenging circumstances. The title of this episode is Love Lockdown, Building Success During Incarceration. I want to introduce my special guest today. We're thrilled to welcome two um, incredible guests to the show. Um, Barry Jones, right? We gonna get into his story. He gonna tell his story. He already said he gonna be lit. We was in the green room earlier. He said he gonna just tell. He gonna introduce himself, right? But his wife Jessica is a passionate wife, mother, and accomplished entrepreneur with a proven record of success. She has launched multiple thriving businesses and provided training to over 200 companies, focusing on growth in the beauty and medical industries. As a sought after speaker, Jessica has presented at numerous business events, including the inaugural Phlebotomy Expo. Yeah, you should hug her for that. She's
Yeah,
matter of fact, man, let's
yeah.
go ahead and give her a round of applause for
Hey,
all the
let's do
good work
that.
that she's
Let's
doing,
do
man.
that.
Yeah, she's
Let's
doing
do
her
that.
thing.
She definitely deserves that 10
Yeah,
times over, man. Like, yeah.
yeah. And she also leads a nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering incarcerated and formerly incarcerated individuals to become entrepreneurs. All right, we're going to talk about that. Her renowned Prison Wives program highlights her deep commitment to this mission. So keep an eye out for her and her upcoming documentary alongside her husband, showcasing their journey. And they have blessed us with, being on the show because I heard Barry don't do interviews. But he came with us. So we over at the podcast, we definitely appreciate that. Now, in this episode, we're going to highlight, well, hopefully in the conversation, we're going to talk about the importance of entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about the importance of leadership. We're going to talk about rebuilding your lives after incarceration. But then we're going to talk about love. So without any further ado, man, I want to go ahead and welcome Barry and just Jessica. Hey, guys.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
Appreciate
Awesome.
it, man. Appreciate it.
All right. So I should have had both of y'all names. Yeah, Jessica up here. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about your story, Jessica.
About us. So, all right. Well, you pretty much said it. Mother, wife, entrepreneur. I basically helped my husband start with three businesses while he was incarcerated.
Yeah.
That's how it really that's how I became known somewhat. Because really I just started my own businesses. When he met me, I was fresh out of school
Mhm.
and I was a licensed esthetician. I am a licensed esthetician. And he met me fresh out of school where I was just like, I came out of school and I dived straight into business, opened up my own suite, and then I just started training. That's how I started building up my name. But I met him, and we was together for a second before he went back in. We broke up when he went back in. Got back together while he was in. But while he was in there, I decided to surprise him. Actually, Beyond the Chains is his. I
Oh
did the
man,
paper.
that's what I'm talking about.
I did the paperwork for him. It was a thought. He was just talking. Like I love
Oh,
business.
we gotta say that. We gotta say that. We gotta say that story right there. For
Oh
when
yeah,
I
yeah. We gotta say because we gotta
yeah.
introduce
Yeah,
Barry.
yeah. So we'll
Barry
get
got to give
get
us this
there. But
introduction.
it's
Here we
like
go.
talking about me is talking about him because we do everything together.
No,
but
that's my
ba-
dog. That's my
but
bestie.
yeah, but basically, like I teach. I started off teaching single moms because when I was one, that's how it started. The single moms become entrepreneurs. Basically just helping to take care of their families and things like that. And then as I got married and the client, everything changed, the clientele, the story, everything changed. So now I just help
Mhm.
everybody open up and start and expand their business, especially those who have felony and convictions. I help them open up felon friendly businesses. So that's how I started with that, and it's just been taking off from there.
Awesome, awesome, and that's what we want to highlight because, like, programs like the Prisons Wives program, they're transforming lives and inspiring communities. And what this
Yeah.
episode is going to do, we're going to hear this story, and gain insight into the power of the love and ambition. Because that's what it took. It took a lot of ambition to create this lasting change that you guys have started. So let's go ahead and dive into it, man. So holding it down. Holding it down. Tell me about holding it down. Now, this one question is for Jessica. Like, what was the initial reaction or the emotional struggle? Because you said you broke up with him when he went back to prison, right?
No, we broke up. No, we broke up before
he went.
I went back to prison.
Right before he went. Before
We
he
was
went back.
we was still cool. Like she would
Mhm.
call, check on me, make sure I'm all right, stuff like that. She always was concerned, you know what I'm saying, about my well being, regardless of the fact that we was together or not. Like her main thing was like, is you good? Do you need me? I
Mhm.
come, or you could come. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of who I was with, what I was doing, she was always there. But we wasn't together when I got locked up on a violation. How we got back together? Well, I'll let you finish, and I explain that
He
when I
loved
go back.
telling the story. That's why.
Hey,
No,
But
I
folks,
like
no,
your
telling the
story.
story, period.
yeah,
But
but yeah, no. Basically, I was on Instagram. Like he said, I always checked up on him, and I'm like, where he at? He disappeared. Like, I was just like, that's weird. Like, I didn't hear anything. So I was on Instagram, and it said he went live. I said, he's live. Let me jump on here real quick. And he was on a video visit. He was locked up on a video visit. His sister had the phone, and he was doing whatever he was doing, and he was on the live while in prison. And I'm like, is he locked up? I said,
Well, you
oh
off the
heck
chain.
yeah.
Well, you
He
off the chain.
he is something else when he was in there. Okay,
Yeah.
let's just put that out there. But I'm like, his sister saw I was on there. And she was like, stars on there. He was like, star. He was like, DM me your number. I was like, all right. I DM'd him, and then my first initial time talking to him, I was like mad. I'm like, what the heck you doing in there?
Right.
no, she being PG with it.
Well,
She like, you
listen.
fucking stupid. Like, what the fuck is you
Yeah, well,
doing?
yeah.
How the fuck is you locked up? She
Yeah.
start crying and shit.
I
Like,
yeah,
she a big crier, bro. Like,
I
she start
am.
crying and shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about with the question. And that's what I was talking about with that question. Like, what was the reaction? So I'm getting it now. The emotional reaction
Yeah, I
after
was cursing him
finding
out,
out
crying, all
he
types
was
of
in jail.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was. I was just like, damn, that was the last thing I wanted for him. Especially he was doing his thing when he was home with the music and everything, and just seeing him in his element when he was home, coming home from doing 16 years. I thought that was amazing what he was doing. So to see him back in there, I was pissed off. I was so mad.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. So, what were some of the challenges that you faced? What was like the challenge, the biggest challenge? I'm gonna say that. What was the biggest challenge for you, Jessica, to
Uh,
say, "Hey, look, I'm gonna give him another chance." Like, what was the biggest challenge? What was the biggest fear?
I always loved him, so giving him a chance ain't really much. It don't take much.
No.
But
Yeah.
but I was hesitant because I've never dated nobody incarcerated
Yo,
before.
listen.
That was the struggle right there. I've never done it before. I never wanted to do it. I always said somebody get locked up,
I'm
I'm
the
out the
first.
door.
I'm the first when it comes to a lot with her. She didn't mess with niggas with kids. Cause she didn't want to deal with no baby moms, none of that shit.
Yeah.
I came into this relationship with two grown kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That love her. They call her mom. They
Yeah,
love
those are
her.
my babies. I love
They
them.
love
They
her more than
grown.
they love their own moms. I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't have probably said it, but you know what I'm saying? It's the truth. Like, I'm being honest. Like, they love her. Like, she has that personality. She has that draw to her. You know what I mean? That love, you can feel it. You know what I'm saying? And they really do respect her and love her as such. But she never dealt with no nigga in jail before.
Mm-hmm.
If she didn't know me before I went to jail, that
I would
wouldn't
have
would have
never
been a thing.
happened. It would
You know
have
what I'm saying?
never
Like,
Right.
it would have been a thing. But for her to not ever be with nobody that ever been in jail before, and the way that she planted her feet and carried that shit, bro, like Saquon on Sundays, you hear me? She
Well,
carried that shit, bro.
he in Philly now, right?
I'm from Philly,
Okay, all right.
you can
You know, y'all in
you
New
gonna pick
York
up
or
on it.
whatever.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely from
but
Philly.
but she carried that shit, bro, and once again, I want to give you your flowers in front of the world because you held it down in front of the world. So
Thank
Oh,
you.
oh
thank
man,
you.
oh man, y'all gonna
Thank
make me
you.
cry on this mom. Come on, man, don't do that,
Oh
bro.
no, shit wasn't
Don't
easy.
do
You know
that,
what I'm
bro.
saying? But
Yeah.
she did that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that
So
that was
now
that
my
was
question
the
for
first.
you. I got a question for you now, bro, because she talked about the emotional stuff. She didn't really want to like deal with you like that because she had never done it before. It was like a challenge. It was emotional. She was like, "Bro, what you doing?" Right. So, what about for you? Once she accepted you and she said she
In
gonna hold you down,
in
right?
the beginning, I told her from the time I saw. All right, so how I met her was somebody that I know that she know. We both cool with. Is a female. Posted a picture in her stories like follow my friend, and I saw it and I'm like, damn. I listen. I slide right in there, yo. But I asked her a question like, yo, do you know her? Cause like
Bro,
this
you
is
didn't know her. What you doing? You don't know
no,
her.
I didn't. But see, my angle was I asked her because I know she gonna respond. Not many people go on her DM like, damn, you beautiful, how you doing?
Right.
She ignores that shit. So my plan was to ask her if she really knew the person that posted it. So I'm like, yo, do you really know her? And she was like, yeah, like we cool, this, that, and the third. Da, 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 da. She like, but that's not why you DM me. Like, what's up? I'm like, no, honestly, I wanted to know if you were single. And she was like, yeah, I'm single. And I just left my number. And I'm like, if you use it, you use it. And she texted me her name, basically let me know she got the DM. She texted me her name, and I told her about 3 days later, I said, I'm gonna marry you. I told
Wow.
her that.
You told her that 3 days
No,
later.
I
But
told
then
her that.
you got to finish your bid. So how's that?
No, 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 no. I was on the streets when I told her this. Like this before I went to jail.
Oh, okay.
We met in March of 2020. I went to jail in July.
Hmm.
But from the time I met her, 2 days later, I told her I'm gonna marry her. I meant that.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Now, now in between all that, you know what I'm saying, from the time we got married is yeah, that shit was rocky.
Yeah,
Super,
yeah,
super
it's gonna be
rocky.
rocky. Like, cause here's the thing, like when we're talking about, cause I know everybody listening, like, how did they get into entrepreneurship and all this businesses and they got organizations and stuff because dreaming of entrepreneurship and leadership is vital first of all
Yeah.
in rebuilding your life after incarceration because it's going to provide a pathway for self-reliance because like we was talking about earlier a lot of times you ain't going to get no job. You had that feeling that's you check that little box, you might as well just say throw my resume away, right? So rebuilding your life using entrepreneurship is a pathway to self-reliance, stability, and empowerment. And here's why: because you have to break the cycle of recidivism. And when you
Mhm.
guys like got together or whatever, um, something happened. Like the entrepreneurship bug took over. So who led the way on that?
All right, so when it comes to the business mind of this family, I'm not gonna lie, my wife hands down, it's like second nature to her. She didn't take no courses for this shit. She didn't go to no colleges. She didn't get no seminars. Like things that she's interested in, she had purchased like web classes. She had studied it. Once she learned something, she got it.
Oh, so
And then
she
she go
invested in herself when it comes to shit like that.
facts,
Right,
facts.
right,
And
okay.
the things she was learning, she said, then why not teach it? You know what I'm saying? Like, so she turned what she invested into as far as took a class, learned how to do things, turned around and turned it into a whole business where she's training women. And I'm talking about women paying 2 grand, $2,500 for these trainings. You know what I'm saying? And she done trained over 200 plus women. Even one came over here from across seas, booked one of her trainers and came over here from across seas. So this lady got her passport stamp to come over here and learn something from her. So I commend her for that. Everything she do, she try to figure out how she can be her own boss at it. She don't
Mhm.
like working for nobody. You know what I'm saying? So her whole thing is I want to create ways and revenue streams to where I don't gotta cut too much back to these people. That's her
Mhm.
whole thing.
Yeah.
Why am I putting in all the work just for y'all to take majority of my money? But creating these. I wanted to touch on something you said. Creating these businesses was my. This was my thing. You, as you can attest to this, being incarcerated, you run across so many people that have so many great ideas. They just don't have the support or the financial backing on the other side to help their vision come to light. Some of the, for instance, the person that created the boxes that go around the handcuffs was a prisoner. And
Mhm.
you know what they did? They gave him like $250, gave him some commissary and all that, and stole his idea and patented it.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's very, very vital that people with business ideas and they great business ideas, man, should get the opportunity to bring
Yeah.
that to light. Just
Yeah, I
because they
agree,
don't have
man.
the support on the outside, man, I feel like they should have somebody that they can trust in that's going, you know what I'm saying, not F them over and make sure their vision come to light. And we trying to teach them how to do it from behind the wall where you don't have to depend on nobody. You can get the same paperwork and have access to the same things that people have out here. You just got to apply yourself. You feel me?
Yeah, I agree, man. And that's what, what this podcast, what we try to do, man, because it's important to restore that dignity and identity, and leadership and entrepreneurial endeavors will give those individuals that. And especially when it comes to the support systems, like you said, I mean, you have to have a renewed sense of self-worth and the chance to define who you are, but beyond what you undid, beyond this prison shit, because that'll go away. I mean, if you live through it, you have a chance. I mean, when I got home, I know it was very strange for me. It was just, I understood the meaning of free world, right? There were no restraints on me. I could do what I wanted to do in a good way. But I was like, man, I can't mess this up, because it had become ingrained in me that any mistake or any of that could send me right back. You know, here's a little small story I try to share with some people, and you might can relate. When you go to commissary, bro, this is a story I remember. Um, it sticks with me. You remember commissary? You go to commissary, you got like some chips, you got a little bit of soups and shit. You got like a limited little. It's like I'm gonna say like the smallest convenience store you ever seen. Now you can get unlimited shit if you want to get like one chip and get like thousands of motherfuckers. This is one chip. But when I got home, bro, I went into a motherfucking, I think it was a grocery store and shit. And it was a whole line of motherfucking chips, bro. Like a line, like from here to motherfucking damn near, it seemed like down the street, right? But my world had been limited for 15 years to like a certain amount.
So you looking at the shit that you used
Right,
to, basically.
right.
You don't even see them other flavors because you
I don't
locked
see
in on the
that
shit
shit.
from
I'm like,
commissary.
damn, the world had this to offer. I didn't even know that shit. God damn. Well, it was out here. I took it for granted. I made a mistake. I ended up going to the joint over there. But like, damn,
So
this is amazing.
I don't know how the jails is down south. See in the feds they move y'all like that. I never been in the feds, thank God. You know what I'm saying? I could have been, but thank God. You know what I'm saying? I was in a state and like where I
Mhm.
was at, they sell 19-inch flat TVs. You got cable, $17 a month. You can order hot food. Like they be having like little meal joints where they come around probably like 4 times a year where you can like order hot
Oh, that's
food.
what they
Like
doing now. I got out in like, hold on, let me back that up. Yeah, I got out in like 2000. I want to say 2012 though. You know what I'm saying? I've been out, so damn, you can buy cable.
congratulations. No, see where I'm
No,
at.
no,
See,
nigga, you can buy cable. That's what you just
yeah,
said.
yeah, $17 a month.
You can
Basic cable.
subscribe and like have like a Hulu or
Basic
something.
cable. You sign you fill out
Oh,
the cable.
okay.
You fill out the cable form. The last
Yeah,
Thursday of every month they take out $17 off your account for basic cable. You get ESPN, ESPN2,
man, keep them dollars
VH1.
coming. I
Yeah,
gotta keep them
man.
dollars coming, man.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
okay.
And
Not
and,
that I
and
want to
one
go back because I got all
no,
that
no, no,
shit.
no, 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 no. Definitely don't want to go back. I'm just saying, like the bid was a little bit more different. Like, and then I
Oh yeah,
was in the cell by myself.
Right. I was in. We had open dorms in some places. Then they had. It was like different. Depends on where you were at.
Yeah, I
But
was a
like,
Z code. I'm considered. I couldn't be in no dorms. I couldn't be in no
mhm.
jail with no dorms because I'm a Z code, meaning I'm single cell status. I couldn't have cellies. Yeah, I had assaultive
Yeah, it gonna be
behavior,
a
and
problem.
I was in a gang unit for 3 years. When you get out, that's a
Mhm.
stipulation. Like you forever a Z code. Like you can't have no cellies.
But we're gonna talk about the transformation because that's what's most important. The
Yeah.
transformation is the key to rebuilding any relationship that you had or any relationship that you never had. Because we talked about this on another episode. Matter of fact, it was like a couple of days ago about how your actions don't line up with what you believe. You can believe one thing. You can believe like I'm loyal, right? You can
Mm.
believe that. Excuse me. You can believe that I'm the best father. Or I'm going to take care of my kids. But your actions can show that you are actually, committing crimes or selling dope or you running guns or whatever you're doing. But you say you're the best father. But if you're going to be the best father, it's important for you to remain home so you can take care of these kids. And that's what cognitive dissonance. Y'all go check that out. It was the last episode, but like when your actions don't line up with what you believe, somebody lying, right? Either your actions not true to who you are, or you're professing or believe that you're not. So it's important for us
Mm.
to remember that in order to contribute to society, we're going to get into this entrepreneurship journey because this entrepreneurship thing that y'all got going on, especially with the history, is vitally important for this whole episode. So when you guys reunited, what was some of the challenges of reuniting? Because she got these businesses and stuff like that, and she finna take you on as you couldn't even live with somebody else in a cell.
All right. So just before we get to that, no, we gonna get to me later on. But to answer your question, um, I say the main thing was women,
Hmm.
other women. Um, Me being incarcerated, I know when she came into the situation, she probably was like, I know this nigga talk to somebody. But you know me as a nigga, I'm like, no, I don't talk to nobody. So she going off of what I'm telling
That's
her because
cognitive dissonance right there, bro. That's
yeah.
cognitive dissonance when you say,
But you know, as men, when you in that phase, you ever been in that phase, you know, as men, that's what
"Hmm,
we do. We lie. You know what I'm saying?
hmm,
Like, I, I'm not saying it was right. Oh, these cats is true.
hmm,
I'm not saying it's right at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just explaining like that's what I was on. So I could probably figure that's what she probably was thinking also. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
first and foremost, before I step into this situation, like, is this nigga with somebody? All right,
Let's
he
let's
told me he
ask her.
not.
She right there, Jessica. What was some of the challenges you faced when y'all got reunited? What was some of the
Um,
challenges you faced? Is this something like what your husband talking about
it
In the
was
time and
at
how
yes.
the
much
time?
time I
Yeah,
possibly was facing.
Yeah, in the
yeah.
beginning, when before he went upstate, before we got serious, that was definitely one of the main problems was the girls. Um, I didn't think too much of it at first because I know he had came home from doing 16 years at first, right? So 16 years is a long time. He had a lot of living and growing to do. Does that make sense? Like he had a lot of life to live. So
Yeah, I was 19 when I got locked up.
when he came home, he only came home for like 9 months,
10.
10,
Right.
and then he only been home for 10 months, and then went back to jail.
Wow.
So I expected women to be around. He still had life to live. I didn't. It didn't give him a pass. Like this, it didn't give him a pass, but it gave
Mhm.
me more of an understanding of like I have to move with him a little differently. I have to have more patience. I have to just get to know him, things like that. So I didn't put all my eggs in his basket. I
Mm.
just was like, let's see where it goes, how this is gonna go. Because remember, I ain't never dealt with nobody in jail before. So I wasn't planning years of, I didn't know what
Right.
was happening with him. I didn't know how long he was gonna be there. I didn't know
Mhm.
anything. So I said, I'm just gonna take it a day at a time. We might not even like each other after this. I didn't know, we're just connecting. So it was the women. But again, I'm sure he probably felt the same way. Like I'm just here, like we getting to know each other. We don't know what's going to happen in the beginning. So That's all. I was like
Mhm.
lenient, but I was still like, I was so locked in with my businesses and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I was going through my own life transitions and stuff at that time too. So
Mhm.
it was fine. It was just like we just go with the flow and we're gonna see what
I
happens.
think it's the best thing that happened to us though, as far as our relationship, because it
Yeah.
forced us to get to know each other.
Right.
Like
Right. I agree, man.
without all the outside distractions, like it forced us to lock in on each other and really get to know each other. So I'm grateful for the time that I did, even
Mhm.
though I would never get that 4 years back, but something the biggest blessing of my life came out of it. So I'm not mad. You feel me?
Now for me, um, I try to, I listen. I was that dude that was like reading books and I was I if I could describe how I was like in the prison system, I mean, it was more like, first of all, don't mess with me, right? First of all, don't mess with me. But I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to get out of here, and so everybody kind of respected it. I kicked it with the Muslims. I kicked it with the Crips. I kicked it with the Jews. I kicked it with the Bloods. I kicked it with the folks. I kicked it with all the folks. I kicked it with the Peace Stones, the Vice Lords. I even kicked it with the Aryans. It was Aryans in there. You know what I'm saying? So I knew everybody. Everybody knew me, but they knew, like, I had a certain status that I was trying to uphold. I'm a king, right? I'm a
Mm,
king. So, like,
mm.
I don't care
I
who
need
you
that.
are. I don't care who you are. I can deal with you. You know what I'm saying? I can form alliances. I can do all this shit in order to protect my kingdom. My kingdom is here. I need to keep my peace. So the impact of incarceration on relationships is pretty striking, right? Because this is
Mm.
why I got you guys on the show. Because I did a little. I was like my man. I was like, I talk to somebody. I get on me a little chat line because back then cell phones was illegal. I don't know, is cell phone. Can you buy a cell phone in jail now?
It
You,
seemed like it.
it's illegal, but
It
but
seemed
Oh,
but
okay.
like
the
I
it.
was
thing
about to
that they
say because like he
he
said
had one,
cable
he had
TV and
one, I
shit.
got a one.
Yeah,
Right, right.
So
she bought
Them
me a
things
phone when I was
expensive. They
when I was
expensive.
there.
it was
I
like two
paid
thousand
paid
dollars.
2,500. No, the
Right,
phone
they're
the phone
expensive.
the phone was 1,500, and
Oh
the
man, I
rest
got
was
a story for
stuff.
that. I'm gonna tell you about this story offline though. Like one night, what happened to me, right? But I'm gonna tell you about this story online. But research shows that before incarceration, around 50% of married individuals, these people that are married before someone get locked up, they already had some kind of strain in their relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously one person doing some shit, they're gonna get them locked up. Now,
And marriage life is just rough.
it's
Like
tough. It's
it's
tough.
tough. It's tough.
Yeah, but after incarceration, the divorce rate spiked significantly, with studies estimating that 80% of marriages involving someone who's being incarcerated in separation or divorce within a few years. Me and my
Mhm.
wife, we can attest that we are not in that thing because we surpassed 10 and we still going strong. Matter of fact, I think we
Yes.
get stronger every day. We do counseling and shit though. We do that. We do shit like outside of the box. You know what I mean? Because she don't understand where I'm from. We was talking about that earlier.
Oh
You know,
man,
we don't
I need
we
headphones.
I can't talk to
Bullshit.
her like normal shit. Like, so, but it's a sobering reality, but it also highlights the challenges of maintaining strong relationship during such a difficult period. On the flip side, some partnerships like yourself not only survive but grow stronger, especially when both individuals are intentional about communication and support. All right. So who's the communicator in this relationship?
I like to talk, and she
I
like I
like
like
to
to
I
talk.
like to shut down. He
Okay.
talks, I shut down.
Okay.
She engaged for a little bit, and then
Mhm.
she shut down. And it's like
Yeah.
once she shut down, you just talking at her at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like you're
Mm.
not talking with her, and that causes
I'm in
arguments.
therapy for that.
We
Oh
we
man.
we
Hey,
we
that's
no,
crazy.
I am too. We
Oh,
talk
man,
to the
that's
same
crazy.
therapist on 2 different days. Like I
Yeah.
got my day, she got her
Man.
day.
Mhm.
Like, y'all wouldn't know
Oh,
how amazing you guys are, because I swear to God, my wife do the same thing. She shut all the way down.
I want
Hey,
to make it work, bro. I don't want to.
I be
I
like,
need the
why the
marriage to
fuck are
work.
you doing this? You know, why the fuck are you shutting down? We need to be talking. But that's how she cope with stuff.
Right.
Oh man, that's amazing, bro. But like
But see,
y'all all the way up there.
to a person like
Mhm.
me though, who suffer from anxiety by being in my
Yep.
head too much, right?
Right, right.
When she does that, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong. How can I fix it? Like, how can I
Oh
get her to
man.
say something? And when
Yeah.
she don't understand. This shit drive me crazy. You feel me? This is why I be like, I need to smoke because the weed
You're
kind of
actually worsening the shit. You worsening the shit by shutting down.
That's what I'm saying. When you shut, I'd rather you say what's on your mind, regardless of how hurtful it may sound.
No, and for me, when I shut down, is I'm just trying to figure out the best way to word my wording, right? Especially when emotions are involved or I'm upset, sad.
Mhm.
I don't want to talk at him or say something where it comes off wrong. So I shut down. But in my mind, I'm figuring out how I'm going to say this, but I'm just so filled with emotion. I need a minute.
So if you were to
Hey,
do it
remind me.
initially, it wouldn't be good.
Right, exactly. I wouldn't, because I'm a just, I'm in my ways, I'm gonna be like, but I have
Right.
to like, I've learned that I've got to just stop and think and
Hmm.
relax before I speak.
I think that's just with me because she ain't always been like that. If I was a regular nigga she was dealing with, let me tell you something. Every time we got back together, she was dealing with somebody, right? I'd be like, yo, what we doing? She be like, what you mean? I'd be like, I want to be with you. She be like, for real? Like, don't be playing. I'm like, no, I'm serious. She would get off the phone, whoever she talking to at the time, she would call that nigga and tell that nigga, I can't talk to you no more. Like, she cold-hearted, for real. But when it come to me, she melt. She turned into a person. She turned into a little girl, for real. Like,
But
she's,
I think you being high on yourself right now.
bro, I am not that,
no,
bro.
no,
I'm not, bro.
no.
Listen, this is my best friend. Like we talk
Listen,
about
you know what it
everything,
is?
bro.
We
That's what's
friends
up,
before
man. You
anything.
got
When
to
you
be friends before everything.
when you
I,
got
Exactly.
your person, bro,
yeah.
the shit that you do when it comes to this person, like, bro, I
Hmm.
got her name tattooed twice on my face. Once right there, once right here.
But he's right.
When you locked in with somebody, when you got that type of connection with somebody, I never had a connection with nobody like that in my life. I have a mother that I don't have a connection to like that, and I love my mother to death. As a man, she don't understand certain things coming from the circumstances, situations we come from when we show and express our love. They don't see it. They
Hmm.
don't recognize it. But it's our way of showing you you are that. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's I appreciate that, bro, because that's the honesty that we are looking for. Because not only you going through it, but we all go through it, especially people that are in relationships that are, life after incarceration. So what's even more surprising though is that the resilience of these marriages or these relationships. That's what's surprising because I was, I research stuff. I look it up, man. I want to get facts behind it. I want to talk to people. Like people can tell me anything in a book, but I want to hear it. Right. Um, they say that couples who marry during incarceration often last longer than the national average because you've been down, right? Anything outside of incarceration is a plus. You've been down. So about 70% of the people stay together for 5 or more years after they get locked up and all that post-release stuff. So it seems like the new unique challenges that they face early on can help build a strong foundation. Once you know that somebody got your back,
It's
right?
funny you say that, yeah. My members, some of my male members, we speak, and sometimes the wife is involved, and then sometimes it's just I'm just interact. He may be single, but like we're just talking, right? Just life stuff, life in
Right, right.
general. But the ones that are in a relationship and has been there for a while and they're free, I'm like, how's it going? Keeping up with them and stuff, and they always say, I don't have to. I don't have to ever question my wife because she done been down with me through the most hardest stuff. So
Right.
coming home and being with her, that's the least I could do. Is be that rock for her as she was for me. So, and usually, what is the number one problem in relationships? Trust, right? Is this person really for me? Does this person really? This is the main thing that people question when dealing with somebody. So now, when
Mhm.
you are incarcerated, that is the test right there. So now that you've seen that this person been with you through the lowest, that you feel the lowest of the low, and she's still uplifting you, and y'all together outside of that, the loyalty is somewhat different. This is not everybody's story, but for majority that are really locked in, that is their story. The loyalty comes naturally because that's they feel like that woman is earning of that. That was their proven. They proved that to them. So
Mhm.
now their comfortability is they're comfortable. They feel like they found that person that they can be vulnerable with.
But I gotta be a realist too
Hmm.
about that on the flip side,
Hmm.
because you have a lot of dudes that's incarcerated who have women that's riding for them, but they don't be physically attracted to them, so they feel like
Oh
they entitled.
man.
No. I'm just speaking on in general because it's a lot of people listening to this, and I just wanted to be known like they deserve that also. They sacrifice their time, money, all that to make sure that you are in a situation that's very, very effed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And dudes be feel like they gotta be entitled to come home and be with them for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time they know that's not what they on. You feel
Man,
me?
bro, I
So,
feel you because I mean, I don't know. I had a cell phone or two when I was locked up. You know, I mean, what are you gonna do? Lock me up? I ain't in there no more. But yeah, it was times where I mean, I had got into the pattern of use and abuse. You know what I mean? So I'll tell them, you know, I just used to say stuff in order to get stuff. You know, I need to have my phone bill paid. I need to have commissary. I need to do that. I jump on the chat line and I just go and just run it, run it,
That was
run it,
him in
run
the
it.
beginning.
see that
Yeah,
that
I
was
would
my
just run
thing.
it up.
I'm glad you just said that because I was expressing to my wife, right?
Yeah.
Um, I'm not gonna go into detail, but we had a situation where I was talking to a female, and my intentions was I was trying to get her to do something for me. I'm not gonna express what it was, but I was trying to get her to do something for me. But my only way that I know how to finesse from doing all that time, I did 16 straight. So it's plenty of women that I done met through niggas like, yo, put me on a friend, tell your girl, put me on a friend or whatever, put me on a friend. Like, and back then, you know, it's all handwriting. So you got to
Right.
you you
Ooh,
you
ooh.
you you,
What
you
them
really got
stamps
to
at? What them
you really got
stamps at? I need a
you got
stamp.
really no you got to really have
Yeah.
some
That
game. You
pin
know what I'm
game. Yeah,
saying?
the
This person
penmanship.
don't know you. Person never
Yeah.
saw you because at the time you probably ain't got no pics. So you just writing a letter to somebody out the blue, and you got to grasp their attention. You got to say some shit that's gonna make them interested in writing back. So
Mm.
mind you, when I did that 16, I ain't had no support. My sisters was younger. They wasn't working and nothing like that. My homies, they disappeared. Like I didn't have no support, so I had to get out how I lived. So that basically, and I'm not a bad looking person, so that shit basically became a craft for me. But I will tell them chicks anything. I love you. You look like Beyonce. I want to do this, that, and the third, but I ain't mean none of that shit.
Yeah.
Survival mode. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
I was trying to express to her, like, because she was like, damn, you must really liked her because of the things that I said. And I kept trying to express to her, like, I didn't mean none of that shit. Like, no, it don't make it right. But I
Right.
didn't mean none of that shit. Get that part out your head. I didn't want her like that. But you told her you did. I don't give a fuck if I told her, you know what I'm saying, is money falling out the sky and you know what I'm saying, you gonna get rich tomorrow. Like I didn't mean none of it. We know it's not gonna rain money. And we know you're not gonna be rich tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Just because I told you that shit don't mean it's true.
Okay. So let me ask you
I'm glad
this,
you touched
Scott.
on me.
Yeah, because I mean, I did mine. I'm out now. I'm good. But it's important to tell these stories because a lot of people they deal with these stories, and you are in relationships with people now, and they don't know your story. They don't know like what's behind that mask, what you had to do and what you're continuing to do now. I don't think it would be very hard, excuse me, for me to explain to my wife, like, yeah, I'm just messing with her because she's gonna find me like $30,000. She gonna like, nah. So that's more important. I mean, we ain't gonna get in that, but what I want to get on is like when you guys reunited and you started building stuff. What happened when, she told you what she had set up? No, let me start with
All right. So
Jessica first. Let me start with Jessica first because she the one set it up. Let me go there first. Jessica, what was your motivation behind like starting the organization and some of those businesses? What was the motivation?
The motivation. So for the Beyond the Chains, like I said, but my other business, my Labella Star Beauty, I had started that before I even met him. And that motivation was me being a single mother. I had just got out of an 8-year relationship with my kid's father, and it ended badly. He left abruptly, and I had to figure things out as a single mom.
Mhm.
So the business was my way of being home with my kids because I couldn't find a job that would help me drop my kids off to school and pick them up. I didn't have that support. So, but I knew I needed to make money. So what could I do? I started making money from in the house, right? Doing makeup, things like that. That's how I made that for Labella Star Beauty. Now, when I met him, I'm just big on business, and
yeah,
I know he never had a business before. So I always used to just talk to him about business, like what is it he want to do besides music, just life stuff. That's the type of conversations we had. And he had expressed that he wanted to help those incarcerated, and I'm like, oh, that's dope, and we just talking about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to surprise them. And I ran out and I did the paperwork for the nonprofit. And I
Mhm.
surprised him. And then a couple of months later, I gave him that, showed him the papers. And I'm like, you have your own nonprofit. And
All
that
right.
was that was his business. And then we
Hey,
have a mobile
oh,
medical
that wasn't
lab.
even the first
That
one.
wasn't the first one. The mobile medical lab was the first one. Because
That
that
was
so
a
how did you
surprise
feel,
too.
bro, with all of this, like all these blessings coming on you like that? What did it
I'm
do to
about to
you?
give my honest reaction, bro. I'm like, yo, this girl crazy as shit. Like, cause yo, listen, no, real shit, because we just have conversations, right? And then a couple weeks later, a month later, she just be like, guess what, Stank? I'm like, what? She be like, you part owner of a medical lab. I'm like, I am? Like what? Like you bullshit. 2, 3 days later, I'm getting mail. I got the paperwork for the LLC for a mobile medical lab. I'm like, yo, she different. So I'm on the phone talking this
Hold on,
shit.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Yo, she different. That's all you can say,
No, no,
bro.
that's not all. I'm
Yeah, I
just
got
saying,
you.
like,
I
no,
got
she's different. Like, she's
you.
different.
Yeah,
Like who does that? You see what I'm saying? Like she's different. A conversation turned into a business because
yeah.
her whole thing was, damn, my husband never had a business before. She gifted me my first business, not even as no wedding gift, like just because of a conversation. That's why I say she different. Who does that? Now, people may think, you know what I'm saying, that she gonna do that for just anybody. Like, no. The person that loves you, they gonna show you they love you in ways that you don't even understand. And she don't tell me she love me. She shows me she love me. You know what I'm saying? Like the nonprofit, we talking, and she was like, "Is it like, damn, like, all right, I know you got the music, this, that, and the third, da, 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 da." She like, but is it anything else you would want to do, like when you came home, like business wise? I'm like, but we got the lab. She was like, yeah, babe, but like, that's more so my thing. I'm in the medical field. Like, you just the owner, you part owner. I'm like, all right, because she know I'm not gonna be sticking needles in nobody and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right. She like, so what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I do want to help people in situations like me. She was like, yeah, I think that'd be dope. This, that, and the third. So the conversation's still going. And then 2 months later, she tell me I got a nonprofit.
Well,
I'm like,
well. So
what?
tell me about the nonprofit, man. What I mean, I know about Beyond the Chains. I went to the website. I could tell everybody, but I would want you guys to, um, like, shout out y'all nonprofit because it's up there all the time. BeyondTheChains.org. Tell me about it.
Thank you. So she always explained what Beyond the Chains is. So I'm going to explain what Beyond the Chains
There
is
we
to
go.
me. You know what I'm saying? Beyond the Chains for me is first and foremost, beyond the chains to me is deeper than just incarceration. Beyond the chains of incarceration, it could be beyond the chains of anything: obesity, oppression, depression. You know what I'm saying? Just breaking them chains off of whatever it is that's holding you down, that's restraining you from doing whatever. That's what beyond the chains is for. But specifically for those that's incarcerated or that was recently incarcerated, like you said earlier, a lot of us come home and can't get jobs, or we be afraid to, try to go seek jobs because we afraid of the rejection. You know what I'm saying? We afraid that the rejection gonna push us in a direction we really don't want to go in, so we just try to stay away from it. Um, everybody don't want to work for nobody, and I believe that us as a people, period, we don't know too much about ownership.
Hmm.
And I feel as though that creating businesses and becoming entrepreneurs and teach you ownership and the value of ownership. And that'll lead on to us owning property, land.
Mhm.
But just that small, just peeing that in their head, just with business, it could carry so much further. But it's about ownership, man. I just want to bring ownership to us as a people, because us as a people, we don't own nothing.
I'm definitely with that ownership movement thing. Me and my wife, we got some stuff like we trying to do investments and stuff like that. So I think that's very important. And for your wife, and because I'm not going to say your wife, I'm going to say for your family, because it's more not so about you specifically. Both of y'all did this. You know what I mean? It was a belief in you, and you believed in her, and y'all were able to like put some stuff together. Now, staying connected, like while y'all were in prison and all this stuff, you can let us with LLCs, boy. Like, I think me and if the homie had came up to me and like, hey man, my wife just
Oh, not
my
to
wife
cut
my
you off.
wife just sent me a paper. I'm the part owner of the LLC and shit. You know what I've been like to my homie. I'm like, man, she got a sister. Straight up.
Oh no, them the type of questions that came.
I know it
Them
did.
definitely the
I
type of
know
questions
it
that
did,
came.
bro.
And
But
and on the anniversary of my mixtape, she had me on the billboard in Times Square.
I saw that. I saw it on the so I did my research. I saw
She did
y'all
her
on
paper.
Times Square, bro.
She did
I
her
saw
paper,
you
man.
on Times Square. It's like they don't just get that to anybody. You know what I mean? Y'all was on Times Square billboard. So what we gonna do now? Because we write like maybe a couple of minutes in, because I definitely want to keep you guys on. But like, I just want to talk about some of the stuff that y'all did once you got the LLC. How did you guys stay involved? Like, it was a lot of letter writing, a lot of visits. What was going on? Like,
All right.
Okay.
So I had four. So you only allow 3 calls a day on your pen. So I had 4 different pens. I
you gotta
had
use
the
your
yellow
cell
pen.
phone. Why you didn't get your cell phone?
See, where I was at, I had a cell phone when I was in the county jail. But when I went back upstate, it wasn't no way to get no phone, so I had to play the jail phone. But I talked to her 12 times. Like, she's the only person I called. If I
Mhm.
wanted to talk to somebody else, she three-wayed them for me. Like,
Right.
but
And
yeah, I call her
we
all
had
day. And
video
video visit.
visits, and we
Yeah,
had
yeah.
the tablets, so that's how we was always talking. So phone, video visits, and a tablet.
And regular and person
And
visit.
in-person visits. Yep.
Yeah, those online stuff. Were you guys taking any like courses together, like learning stuff together, reading any books,
Really what ended up
discussing?
happening is I took the classes and then I would teach him
Oh,
from there,
oh,
because
okay.
yeah, I would learn it and then I'll teach him from in there, or he'll do his research in the law library. He'll come in and teach me something. So that's how we
Mhm,
wasn't able to physically at that time take classes together.
mhm.
But so we just divide and conquer basically.
That's what's up,
And
man.
and she damn, it was on the tip of my tongue when you said something. I just thought about it and I just forgot it that fast. God damn.
What is about the virtual classes or the law library? I know she was just talking about the law library. The more
But
dusty ass
it
books.
was something about us learning the book that we was reading together.
Right.
The
48 laws of power.
5 love languages.
Oh, y'all read that together?
Yeah.
Oh wow! All right, so I'm gonna put y'all on the spot right now. I'm gonna go Jessica first, man. All right, so Jessica, what's your love language?
Mm, I'm an affectionate, a touchy, feely, emotional person. So touch,
Right,
right?
Barry, what's your love
Touch,
language,
kissing.
bro?
Hmm.
What's your love language? What's your love language, bro?
I love language ain't
You read
nothing.
the book.
She is my love language though. I speak the language that she talk. That crazy. Real shit. I listen, the way she is about me, bro. I
Yeah,
That's my love language.
He like
that's what's
crazy.
up.
That's
So
what
it's
he
all
like.
about
I
you.
like
It's
all
all about
five of
you.
them. All five of
Right.
them is my
All
love
five of them.
languages.
What
Yeah.
hey, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, man. So I want to appreciate y'all for coming on, man. We're gonna definitely kick it a little bit afterwards, just to, like a post interview type deal. And I gotta tell y'all this story about um that I had. But setting future milestones. One of the most powerful ways to maintain connection is to set clear future milestones or goals. So that's what I want to talk to you about now, because I know y'all got y'all stuff going on, but like, what's in the future? The future milestones, the next goal.
Is to open up either transitional housing or to actually have like a center,
Mhm,
an in-person headquarters, so we can do these in-person classes. We do a lot of virtual classes because a lot of our
mhm,
members are in different states.
mhm,
So a lot of stuff has been virtual, but we plan to actually have like our own office space and transitional
mhm.
housing.
Y'all let me know, bro. What you got?
Uh Me personally, I wanna open up a safe place where I'm from in Philly, man, because the gun violence when it comes to the little ones down there is like crazy, man. They as young as 13 jumping off the steps, man. Like in the
Yeah.
action. I want to create a place where you can come play basketball at the school. You can come there do schoolwork, have a computer room, a studio where we got an engineer teaching audio engineering. I mean they can record music. I just want a
Yeah.
place where they can come and learn these things, a podcast room, like something like how
Yeah,
they got, but some similar to that. And I just want, I just want to create a safe place for the kids, man, where I'm from. Like, so that's like my ultimate goal.
Mhm.
And I really do pray that some people will jump behind this idea, man, make it happen. So
All right. Well, I mean, I'm on board, man. Whatever y'all have, man, just let me know. I'll do what I can do to help. I'm in Atlanta. I'll try to push it forward, because one of the things that we have to do, and that's in any relationship or even just getting out of prison or just as individuals, you don't even have to be locked up to do this. You have to have something concrete to work towards, so you can provide both of you with some type of hope and motivation, because it don't stop there having the LLC. It don't stop with the nonprofit. It don't stop with that, because you know what else you gonna reach for? You gotta have some more goals and milestones. You can do them individually or together, right? You support. If say I know my wife, you know what I mean, she has individual goals. I just looked over, she over there, hey babe. But when you have individual goals, my job is to help support them and to help feed those goals. And if we have mutual goals together, then we need to, like Jessica said a minute ago, like work hand in hand, start, um, you know, defeat everything that comes in between us, so we can have that goal accomplished sooner rather than later. And that what is going to bring us to the end of today's episode. A big thank you, man, to all of our incredible guests. I want to thank Barry and Justin for joining on, for sharing your insights and stories of your courage and resilience, because it was truly inspiring. Jessica talked to me. We were supposed to do this on Tuesday. Jessica, she
right.
had like a little cold or something. She had something going on. I ain't
Yeah, I
know.
was.
yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
been
she
sick
was
for like a
bad, bad.
month. It feels
Right.
like.
Before we get off of here though, I wanted to say we have a 10,000 grant list. To
Right.
all those that's interested, we got felon friendly grants, over 10,000 of them. Um, you can DM my wife at wish on this star, all underscores in between on at her Instagram, or at beyond the chains, all underscores on Instagram. Um, Take advantage of these grants, man. Like the government got money for us out here, man. Whether you a felon or not, it's for anybody. Whether you're a felon, you're a regular person that happen to be supporting the show, and you watching, you pay attention, you know somebody incarcerated, whatever the case may be. Take advantage of this grant list because they
Yeah,
giving this money out up to $2 million in grants. Like I've seen grants up there up to $2 million. So
yeah, we definitely
come
going to
tap
post
in.
those social links on our website for those grants. I think I looked at your website for beyondthechange.org. I think it was like a little link where you can go and view
Yeah, I
that
gotta
list.
update it some more. Yeah, because I've been, thank God people love our movement.
Mhm.
So a lot of people have reached out from different states where they literally send me grants from every state
Mm.
because they know what we're trying to do, and then that way I can bring it to the community. And a lot of them, like I said, is felon friendly, so this is free money. This is money you don't got to pay back. So this is money you can invest in for yourself, for your family. We have also grants for low income families, so those families that might need some support.
Mhm.
This is all free money. You do not have to pay a grant back, and we're going to do a grant writing seminar where I teach you how to apply for these grants.
Awesome, awesome. And
So
just
tap
go ahead
in.
and shout out those socials really quick. You got beyondthechange.org, and how's they can find you? Wishing dot wish.
Wish on this star, and it's all underscores. That's where you can find me. We have prison wife
Mhm.
services. We have multiple business services, all felon friendly. We also have a felon friendly ebook that will give you ideas on felon friendly businesses you can start.
Awesome, awesome.
And the other Instagram is Beyond the Chains on Instagram, all underscores, and
Oh, I'll
Gorilla
follow y'all.
World and
I'm definitely shut y'all out.
Gorilla World Haifa, all Gorilla World Haifa underscore
I got to
on
get that one
Instagram.
because that's the one I didn't have. All right, so like I want to thank you guys again, man, for joining the show. I please stick around. I'm trying to get into the exclusive content area at
No
some
doubt.
point. You know what I'm saying? But like we're gonna stick around, we're gonna chop it up because we got a story. I want to thank you again. Be sure to join us next time. Deal with reentry and how to break the stigmas associated with being incarcerated, because I mean there's some people out here doing some amazing things and we try to highlight those people, right? Until then, take care, stay strong, and keep moving forward.
Change the narrative.